Welcome to Methods Podcast. I'm Matt King. This is Tori King. I do Methods weightlifting. She does Pilates Kokomo.
Sure. Today we're going to talk about our favorite top 5 supplements for a weightlifter. And we each separately made our own 5. We did not discuss this, even though he tried to discuss it a couple of times.
True.
But we both have our top 5, and then we'll have our 3 worst supplements / overrated supplements.
Yeah.
Why are supplements important, and why would someone use them?
Right. Well, if you look at weightlifters just in general, you might find that just about every single one of them uses the same 3 supplements at least. If you want the most out of your training, if you want to get the highest performance you can for the amount of effort that you're putting in, you're going to want to you're going to want to think about your diet. You're going to want to take supplements. You're going to want to keep an eye on your sleep. So you don't want to be behind everybody. You should probably be taking a couple supplements.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to go first for your first one of your 5?
Well, do we start with number 5, or do we start?
Yeah, number 5, working up to number 1.
Okay, yeah. So I think for me, number 5 is magnesium.
I didn't think of that.
Magnesium is beneficial for people who struggle to fall asleep. I found it to be the best sleep aid. And I struggle with muscle cramping sometimes, especially in the summer. And magnesium is a big help for that too. So do you need me to tell you your number 5?
Nope. My number 5, I think is, my number 5, beta-alanine.
Yeah, beta-alanine?
Beta-alanine. Because that's the stuff that gives you like the tinglies, right?
It's true.
And so like people always say like the really good pre-workouts have beta-alanine in it, right?
I would say so. A lot of them do.
And so like you could just put pre-workout / caffeine in the top 5, but I feel like beta-alanine kind of goes with that in that context because of the benefits it gives for you in the moment, but then it's also good for recovery. Is there anything you have to say about beta-alanine?
Yeah, I think it's pronounced beta-alanine.
Sorry. Beta-alanine.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about it?
Well, I've just not used it that much. I do enjoy using it in pre-workouts, and there is research behind it. It does work. It does help. It just didn't make my top 5.
Okay, your top 4, or your number 4.
Number 4, really boring answer, whey protein. Getting a protein supplement is beneficial to just about everybody. You can try your best to get it in your diet, but it just helps so much to be able to immediately. You can get into a routine with the whey protein. It's easy to drink. You can get one that matches your calorie needs. For a long time, I tried to just get all my protein in with my diet, and after I gave in and just started using protein powder, I saw a huge benefit to my performance. I wish I started a lot sooner.
My number 4 is omega-3.
Oh, that's a good choice. I should have put that on my top 5.
I had a feeling that say it's a good choice, and I had a feeling you're going to forget. But that's how I felt about the magnesium for you. I was like, shoot, that's a good pick. But I guess I always took omega-3s growing up, just because my mom made me take them. But when I met Matt, he would always take omega-3s, and he takes like 6 omega-3 pills at once.
I take 6 fish oil pills.
Oh my goodness. And I thought that was crazy because I barely want to take 1. But I'm enlightened. Omega-3s are very good for joint health, right?
True.
Anything else you have? Obviously, it's good for your brain, but that's not really related to lifting.
Yeah, anecdotally, I know people who had issues with joint pain, even pretty significant things like consistent patellar tendon pain, so like patellar tendonitis, quad tendon pain, and they started taking large doses of omega-3s, taking 6 fish oils at a time, and they said that it cleared it right up. These are people that the people that I'm thinking of are pretty high level too. Specifically, somebody that I know who held a powerlifting squat record. So I think if somebody's got joint pain, it should definitely be on your list of things to consider.
Yeah. So that was my number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're number 3.
My number 3, and citrulline malate is my number 3 supplement. I take citrulline malate during large squat volume blocks. Really, what it's good at is helping your endurance. It can, and then for weightlifters, it can really, during a volume block, help you squeeze out a couple more reps. I think out of all the supplements that I've taken, it's been one that I was like, okay, this is definitely not a placebo. I really feel the difference. I feel more of a pump. But really, when I take it, I don't get tired as easy. When you have those days when you're doing heavy singles or a 1 rep max, it's really not going to help at all. If we're doing 4 sets of 8 and it's when we're getting up to some pretty heavy weights, that's a time when you can really benefit from citrulline malate.
Number three for me, collagen. And I chose collagen because sure, you can get collagen in like I would say it's hard to get direct collagen if you're not like eating bone broth every day, which is expensive. You can obviously make it yourself, but again, that's a whole nother process. If you can just take a scoop of collagen, put it in your protein shake, and honestly, I'm very surprised with how good our collagen is. I don't know if all collagens are like this, but the collagen that we have
has no flavor.
It has no flavor, but it like dissolves. Yeah. It's not like grainy or anything. It's like not even there. So that like that's really cool. So like if I make a protein ball, I can just mix that into it, or protein shake, mix that into it. There's probably loads of other things you can just add to it. I think one time I added it to our when you were sick in that soup that I made. I think I put a collagen scoop in it.
That makes sense.
And you just can't tell. And that's really cool. And besides the fact that it's easy to take and you can't tell, collagen is just good for your joints, especially if you're getting older. So many people have knee pain because the cartilage in their knees is just scraped away and it's like bone on bone. If you can do anything to help out, you could better try and take something to at least help you out a little bit. But yeah, I think collagen would be number 3 because a lot of people don't think of it because it sounds like it's just related to protein, and it has a good amount of protein in it. I think the one that we have, 1 scoop is 25 grams of protein. So that's just extra protein added as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's probably the main benefit. I just think in my head that you're going to be doing something that's very taxing on your joints. I think it just helps the process of adaptation in your joints. It's probably one of the bigger benefits of it.
Number 2.
What is my number 2? My number 2 is creatine. It's got to be high up on the list. Creatine.
It's based.
It's not like you couldn't train without it, but it's such a benefit and it's so low risk that there's really no reason to train without it as a weightlifter. It makes you retain a little bit of water, but that's really the only side effect. So it makes you a little bit heavier day to day. But
if you stay hydrated, it's not going to be as taxing.
Creatine is another one of those where it's just going to help you squeeze out another rep. It's just going to give you a little bit more energy in the gym. There's plenty of research on it. It's all good and there's no bad.
My number 2, something that's funny. I think it's funny how I like that we did the specific ranking of importance.
Yeah.
Because I like seeing how your specific ranking is compared to mine because I knew we were going to have repeats.
Yeah.
But I was curious to see how those repeats were ranked.
I bet your creatine is going to be number 1.
So number 2 is protein or protein powder. But I wouldn't say protein, because protein powder is kind of broad. There's so many kinds out there. Yeah. Maybe we could do a video that explains all the different kinds and what benefits, who benefits what, which whey protein is the most common one because it's the cheapest, I think, to make. And it's kind of like just like the industry standard. whey protein has about like, give or take 80% protein, and then the rest of it is fats and carbs. So that's like industry standard. If you don't want to focus on anything else, you can just take that. The other common one is protein isolate. Protein isolate has actually the fat and the carbs taken out of it. And so it's 98% protein. So if you're someone who's like, I just want the protein, or maybe you're trying to do a keto thing, or maybe you're trying to lean out, protein isolate would be the way to go. But it tends to be pricier for that very reason, is that it's higher protein, and in the process they take the fat and carbs out. And then the third most common one, casein, which is my favorite because it tastes really good. I don't know why, but I guess I do. I think casein maybe has like a higher, just because of the process it goes through, it has a higher fat and carb content, I believe. Don't take my word for that. But just you add it to water and it's so creamy. You don't even have to use milk. I don't know how that works. But casein's my favorite. And usually casein is, because it's like higher in, I believe, calories and nutrients, it's used for bulking most commonly. And it's most commonly taken before bed because it has a slow consumption rate. I don't know what you call digestive rate. Absorption. It has the lowest absorption rate, while protein isolate, I believe, has the highest. I already forgot the word. Absorption rate. And so that's why protein isolate is usually taken after your workout. But yeah, there's so many other things of protein, that if you are interested, leave a comment if you're interested in hearing more about the different proteins.
Number one,
uno.
The most beneficial supplement for weightlifters is caffeine.
Wow.
To nobody's surprise. Every pre-workout, it's got caffeine in it. It's for a good reason. All the bad pre-workouts, they don't have caffeine in them. It's for a reason. There are some guidelines on how much caffeine is beneficial and how much caffeine is too much. And you can measure it against tolerance. Some people definitely take it too far. I think that if you're going to take caffeine and mess your sleep up later that day, if you train at 6 p.m., you might want to consider not using caffeine for training, because the trade-off, sleep is more important than taking caffeine. But it's really indispensable. Caffeine peaks, like the amount of stimulation that you get from the caffeine, it peaks about an hour after you take it. And so you can really time it in relation to your workout as well. But it does just help you push harder. It does just help you lift more. Helps you get more psyched up. It just helps. It's the best one around.
I don't know if this could answer your question. For someone like me who does not like high caffeine or any caffeine at all, how can I get the benefits of caffeine without taking it? Is there any kind of alternative that could give you the same feeling? Or maybe you just take a smaller dose? Or
Nope, there's nothing. I'd say the closest thing is ginseng. I can't take ginseng. I'm allergic to it. It's supposed to have similar effects, but it doesn't work for me.
So something interesting, he gets overstimulated with ginseng.
Yeah, if I have any ginseng.
It's crazy. And I'm very sensitive to caffeine, and I get anxious so easily with caffeine, but I can drink ginseng. Someone showed me the studies for that, because that's kind of interesting and crazy.
But if you are somebody who's sensitive to caffeine, you could just take less caffeine. That's pretty much the best thing that you can get, is just taking less caffeine, controlling it. Some people taking pre-workouts, it's a lot of caffeine all at once. I recommend that people just have a cup of coffee, or tea or whatever. Pre-workout, I find it to be better if you're on the road or if you're short on time, so you need something to take but you don't have time to prepare a coffee or whatever. So that's what that's That'd be my recommendation. You really just can't replace caffeine with anything.
Interesting. My number one is creatine monohydrate.
Yeah.
I think it's a game changer. Like the joke is that like creatine, basically like the joke is that you'll show someone who's like lifting like super heavy and it's like, oh, it's because they take creatine, or creatine is like taking steroids because it works that good, like all that kind of stuff. And if anyone tells you that creatine is bad, don't listen to them. There's nothing bad about creatine.
It does make you go bald, though.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Never mind. But like, I've had so many people come up to me. It's because they're so scared to take creatine. But like, they're like the studies of creatine on how good it is for you, and basically no downsides to it. Like, I think people are like, well, is it gonna like, I don't even remember what people say. People always come up with something. But don't listen to them. Take creatine if you're not already. It's a game changer. It's cool. But a myth, a little myth or myth-ish about creatine is you don't need to load. You don't need a creatine load.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to take longer for you to get to your maximum creatine levels, but it's not worth the trade-off to do creatine loading, in my opinion.
Yeah, which creatine loading is just like you take. What do you do? Do we usually take 10 grams a day or
well,
5?
Usually, like people would say, like we're going to take 20 or 25 grams for however many days in a row. Then you're going to taper off to a more normal dose at like 5 grams. That's what most people would say.
But yeah, creatine monohydrate specifically is the better one. If it tastes like sand, you got the right thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else to add about either of our top fives?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
How would you rate my top five?
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. Top three overrated.
Top three overrated. I will say for my top three overrated, I didn't put them in a specific order of which one's the most overrated. It's just three. Yeah. So I don't know if you did that.
No, mine are three. I struggled more with this one. For me, number three was actually L-theanine. I would not. I pretty much wouldn't take a pre-workout with L-theanine in it because L-theanine can kind of kill the buzz with the pre-workout. Mm-hmm. You kind of really it can really prevent you from getting amped up. In my opinion, and so while it's a very good supplement in general, I don't like it for a pre-workout.
First one on my least favorites or overrated is detox supplements. Any supplement that says detox.
That's a good one.
It's stupid. What do you mean detox? Tell me what you mean by detox. Do you mean like you might as well just go get like a colon cleanse? Like, because whatever this detox is could just be achieved by changing your diet of whatever this is you're wanting to get out of the detox. I don't know why people want to detox personally, but whatever the reason is, it's not going to be as good as you just eating a better diet, less processed foods.
Yeah, the idea that we are building up toxins over time is pretty silly. Pretty much. Number two, then? Mm-hmm. My number two most overrated supplement is L-citrulline. I've found L-citrulline to be completely useless. From what I've looked into, it seems that, like for training. From what I've looked into, it basically is completely useless. Usually it's put in supplements, and they like in the description to the supplement, they'll talk about it like it's citrulline malate. It's not citrulline malate. And as far as I'm concerned, it really just doesn't do anything for training.
Number two is meal replacement supplements. So like I can see the benefit of it, but they can be like highly abused. Like you should just have a protein bar if you just if you don't have the time to get something to eat after your training or before your training and you just need to get something in. But like a meal supplement bar where it tends to have it has all this stuff in it to replace a meal, but it can be abused where like some people just only eat those things, and you're not going to get your nutrients that you need by just eating this quote meal replacement or meal supplement bar. And like you see them at the gas station, they're so huge and humongous, but like it's just not worth it. If you have the time, it's better to just have a protein bar or just eat an actual meal. Just because I think the meal bars are just overrated.
Yeah, that's a world that I don't really know about, to be honest. Next one, or keep going.
Yeah, not number one, but your third one.
Yeah. For me, the most overrated supplement is ginseng, and it's really just because I can't take it. It probably rocks. I probably would take it if I could, but I can't.
Yeah, he basically almost dies every time.
Yeah, something happens to me.
His gut explodes.
My heart hurts. My stomach bloats. Something happens. I can't take ginseng.
My third one is maybe a little bit controversial. I'd say BCAAs, and here's my reasoning why. BCAAs are in meat. So if you are consuming meat products, you're going to get BCAAs.
But if you have a protein shake, you'd say the same thing. Like whey protein is in dairy products. If you're eating dairy products, you don't need to have whey, right?
Well, like I feel like the amount, branch chain amino acids. Like how much of that do you actually need?
Well, really, it's just the BCAAs are just like the BCAAs that you usually get. They're mostly the amino acids that make up the protein that's in whey protein. For me, I could say the BCAAs could be overrated because largely you can just take protein. Half the time there's BCAAs in the protein.
But where I'm going is like, so yeah, BCAAs overrated, but I would say if you are not a meat eater, you should take BCAAs to compensate for what you're not consuming.
Yeah.
So it can be overrated. I don't know, I just see like people taking it and I'm like, but why? I don't know, it feels like an extra cost for a supplement that you most likely don't need.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's like, yeah, just taking, like I think I've seen that some people say multivitamins are overrated because it's like, okay, do you need this multivitamin? They say if you have a healthy diet, you don't need to take a multivitamin. So that's kind of how I feel about the BCAAs. If you have a normal omnivore diet or carnivore, you don't need BCAAs. It's just for vegetarians and thus.
Yeah, I don't really take BCAAs myself. Yeah. Just if they're on the shelf.
Yeah, we have it in the shelf. And then it sits there. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Our bottom threes didn't match up, which is pretty cool.
That's true. Well, our top five didn't really match up either.
Yeah, I'm glad for that because I was like, I don't think we're going to repeat much.
So we visited the CrossFit place today, right?
Yes, we did CrossFits 2 days. And it wasn't the most difficult because it was just PR your deadlift.
We went to one that would be good for a weightlifter to go
to. But we'll get in someday for a cardio one. Maybe. That was pretty cool. It's pretty fun. CrossFit's really good at creating a community.
That's true.
And a fun environment. And maybe it's not like this everywhere, but there is like a team nature of, you know, we're all here for the same goal, and they all want to achieve the same goal. There's no like battling or jealousy, at least from what I've seen. And so everyone just works hard to achieve whatever that goal is in CrossFit. But personally, I still don't like it. I don't like feeling like I need to throw up when I'm done training. I like to sit in between sets.
Yeah, I liked to max out my deadlift. That was good. I like that.
No one left any questions in the comments, so there was no questions today. If you want a question to be asked on here, better leave it in the comments. Otherwise, there's not much else to talk about. Or topic ideas. You can give us topic ideas of what you want to hear. It doesn't even have to be a question you want to ask. Give us a topic idea, and we'll let you pick our brains. Or if you have any ideas for segments on here. We have segment ideas, maybe a lifting news segment, maybe we like put something up here where it's like a clip of something. Maybe you could have us rate your lifts. If you submit your lifts, we can judge it. Or a technique check, something like that. I don't know. We're open to whatever. Just tell us what you like to see.
Sure. Sure.
Methods out.
Methods out.